toenails and blistered heels, salt stains streaking down my face. Sun is beating, muscles scream, but I'm moving at my pace. Run the riot! Leave the world behind! Run the riot! You free your body and your
All right, today on the Run the Riot podcast, I've got Becca Pizzi. What's going on, Becca?
Thanks for having me.
Hey, glad to have you. So, where are you right now?
I'm in Belmont, Mass, my hometown.
Oh, nice. What's the weather like there right now?
Cold. It's really cold. It's been a cold winter.
All right, I'm in Oklahoma, and we didn't go to school and work today because we had like freezing stuff. so I can relate. It's not good. Running's rough right now.
Yeah.
Way too much on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of things to talk about today. As we were talking about before we started recording, this is an ultra running podcast, and you have definitely done a lot of running, and I want to get there because you did the 7 continents in 7 days, not once but twice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's we got a lot to unpack with that, but I want to get to know you a little bit, and like your background and how you got involved in all this. So, are you originally from there?
Yeah, I've been in Belmont my whole life, which is where about 2 miles away from Harvard University and a 10K away from the Boston Marathon finish line.
Oh, that's wild. And I remember reading you've run Boston a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, so this will be my 21st consecutive Boston Marathon.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And you qualified each time, correct?
Yeah, I qualified every time.
Nice. I got to run it. I've qualified multiple times, but I ran it in 2015, and it was one of those years where, you think, man, it's going to be great weather. It was 40 degrees and pouring rain the whole time, but It was a blast anyway. It was good.
Yeah, being from New England, like, we can run at anything. There's nothing you can throw at us that we haven't run in.
Yeah. What blew my mind, though, I was thinking, man, nobody's going to be outside cheering on the runners. Dude, people were everywhere in the freezing rain, and standing still. That's amazing.
Yeah, the Boston Marathon, the support is the legends. Like, they just cheer the entire time. It's amazing, no matter the weather.
Yeah, they're hardcore. It's a holiday.
It literally is.
It literally is. Yeah. Well, so Becca, tell me, have you always been a runner? Yeah.
Yeah, my dad took me to my first race in my hometown. It was a 5K, and I was 6 years old, and I loved it. I crossed the finish line, and I thought it was so fun. I couldn't wait to run more, and I ran through middle school, high school, college, and it's taken me around the world, and I really loved my journey.
Nice. So did you ran track or cross country in all the things?
So pretty much I ran year round. So cross country, indoor and outdoor track.
Nice. It's one of those things where, and I discovered running later in life, and it kind of once you really get into it, and it just kind of, I don't know, it can kind of just take over things, and I don't know, it's the freedom, I guess, the freedom to, I don't know, just to be by yourself doing the thing.
You can do as much or as little as you want with it. That's the beauty of it. You can travel, you can keep it in your hometown, and just lace up and go.
Yeah. So, I guess, I don't know, where did you go to college?
I went to college at Mars Hill University in North Carolina.
Okay. All right. Were there a lot of, I don't know, because, Boston, I'm sure there are a lot of just regular runners there all the time, but were there a lot of runners out there in North Carolina?
Tons. And
Nice.
The beauty of it is no matter how cold it got, you could still run in shorts and t-shirts.
Nice. I'm not doing that now here. It's ridiculous.
Half the team was from Florida. So,
okay.
They'd be in like their hat and wool hat and gloves. And I was like in a tank top and shorts.
Yeah. Well, I'm from South Louisiana, where it, normally it's hot, humid, and stuff, and so whenever I go up north, I got to bundle up a little bit. I still oh man. So you started running marathons, and you have run. Now I looked at your website, and I think it probably is not updated because how many marathons total have you run so far?
I've run 120 marathons.
Okay, because your website is, I think it's at 80. And I was like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I think I
update that for sure.
gotta update that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you've done all 50 states
yeah.
marathons.
I just completed my 50th state, and that was a really incredible journey.
Nice. Which one was your 50th? What'd you ended up with?
It was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and we had
Oh,
50 friends and family come out to the finish line, and I won the race, and my dad held the finish line tape with my husband, and my daughter ran through the finish line with me, and it was like a fairy tale ending. It was, and Jackson Hole gave me bib number 50, and it like
oh,
special, and it was just like I was at the starting line, like I absolutely have to win this race, and for everybody here that's been on this journey with me.
that's so cool, man. That's what a huge accomplishment to get out there and I don't know the logistics, the time, the strategy. And I was looking, so I always before we get on a podcast, I always jokingly say I kind of stalk you a little bit just to see. So I was looking and I was looking at athlinks and some your times and all that stuff. And you've run. You're thinking you're running all these marathons, you're just getting done, but you've run some really good times out there. Just back to back to back and just running all these marathons and crushing it. So it's awesome. I didn't know that you won your last one. So what a the cherry on top, man. Just kill it.
So it was really special.
Now, how long did it take you to, when you decided, because I know we all run marathons, but when you said, okay, now I need to get all 50 states, like how long of a journey has it been?
5 years ago is when I really started to eat. I said I either need to get serious with this or just pick out favorite ones and go do that. And 5 years ago is when I started running about 10 marathons per year.
Nice, nice. Okay, I got to ask a few questions about some of the marathons. Which one did you run in Louisiana? Do you remember?
Rock and roll.
Okay,
Well,
rock and roll in New Orleans, right?
yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I did that one. I don't remember. I did that one a while back. It's a good one. It's a good one.
So
It's
fun.
fun.
It was banned every single mile. We had a great time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you're not entertained, you got a problem.
I was like, you
Yeah. Which one did you run? Honolulu in Hawaii?
I ran Kiwa in Hawaii.
Oh, okay. That one is, which island is that one on?
It's in I'm drawing a blank, but Kauai. Kauai.
Okay. Because I lived there for a year and I did the Honolulu Marathon and then the North Shore Marathon and they were just fantastic.
Then I also did Kona because I ran the Kona Ironman Hawaii.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I counted that
You
too.
got a double.
Yeah.
Nice. You just did it as part of an Ironman. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Exactly.
Okay, nice. So out of all those, I don't know, it's just kind of a stupid question, but I'm asking anyway. What was your, I don't know, what was your favorite experience at a marathon?
Las Vegas Marathon was so much fun. What better finish line than Las Vegas? We went
Yeah.
when we went and walked the strip. That was really, really fun. Cher sang the national anthem one the year.
Oh, wow.
It was a foot for me. So that
No,
was
that's
pretty cool. I loved so many of them. The probably St. George, Utah just took my breath away. I thought that was a really beautiful marathon. I really enjoyed it. It was just absolutely beautiful. And Disney Marathon, if you're a first timer or you run 100 marathons, that's a fun one. You're running through Cinderella's castle, and every single mile they do trivia, like can you name the 7 dwarfs? You get to the next one, and the answer's there. So it gives you just something to do. I really like the Disney Marathon.
That's that one I've always had on my list and wanted to do like the dopey challenge or where
I did that. Yeah, that's really fun.
yeah, you just go out there and just spend a week running and and playing.
Like that, it was so fun.
Yeah. So has your family was there at the last one? Do they get to have they got to go with you on a lot of these, or do you lump them into like vacations, or you just kind of go knock them out?
Both. I always invite everybody. I tend to have my sisters come with me. They're twin sisters, and they come and cheer for me at most of my marathons. But I always invite my daughter. She's a junior, but she doesn't really love to miss school. I don't know how or why.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's interesting.
she didn't want to come to Kona. I think she just wanted to stay here. But she was very, very proud of me, and it's really fun to just check in with her from all the different continents and different states that I'm in. I FaceTime her, but for the most part, my family stays here and holds down the fort. And I fly in on because I run so many. I fly in on a Friday and come home on a Sunday, so it's really quick turnaround.
Yeah, when you're doing that many and you're kind of on a mission, you've got to, I mean, added expensive if you're staying, and you just got to go knock it out and get back to life. Like my mom's just running a marathon again this weekend.
I'll be back in 2 days.
Yeah, that's right. That's cool. Does your daughter or husband run?
My daughter's a sprinter. She's on the track team, so she's racing now. It's state of the art New Balance in Boston. It's absolutely gorgeous facility. So I feel like she's just so lucky to have that there. And then she's also at Reggie Lewis sometimes, which is also like world renowned place to race. So I'm like, you have this right at your fingertips. This is so cool. But my husband, he's run a couple half marathons, but he likes to support.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my wife's done a couple marathons, but she'll do the half marathons and just she'll support.
Yeah. And I need him supporting too. So it's actually better when they support.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, running has taken you, literally, all over the United States and then all over the world, which is really cool. So the first time I ever heard about the 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days was when Ryan Hall retired, and he went out and did it. You might even remember what year that was. I don't remember what year it was. Or
I believe he was 2018.
Okay, and that's the first I heard about it, and I was like, oh, that's a thing. How awesome is that? Yeah. And so. And then when I was reading your bio and reading everything about it, I was like, oh, she got to do it twice. And so how did that get on your radar? And
like the first time I read about it, and I knew that I was going to run it because all of my friends were sending me this link. You've got to run this race, 7 marathons, 7 continents, 7 days. I'm like, oh yeah, I read about it. I'm like, wait, an American female has never finished, although they've attempted, but they've never finished. I'm like, I can make history, get into the Guinness World Records, doing what I love. It's no brainer. I'm definitely going to do it. So
yeah,
I took a year to train for it, and I'd go to Montreal to check my gear for Antarctica and make sure that I was in the proper gear. And I bought a sauna training because it was going to be really hot in some of the conditions, and it was amazing. I loved the locations and then the second time, so I ran it the first time and won the race, and it was incredible, and got into the Guinness World Records. And then there was an opportunity to do it again. And TB12, Tom Brady's company, was like, we'll endorse you. What do you need? How can we help?
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Very lucky to be doing pliability at TB12, and was in the world's best hands with 𝐿𝐿𝐿. And I did it again, and TB12 flew to the finish line and cheered me on and supported my journey, and it's been incredible. And then I thought I got the opportunity to race direct it. Yeah, I have my own 5K in Belmont, Mass, and we've given $100,000 in scholarships. And
wow,
we also have a standalone Antarctic ice marathon ultra. So I went and race directed that, and I really, really liked it. So I said, yeah, I think I can handle the 777. And it was a logistical nightmare. It's so hard, and every, you're crossing 18 time zones and traveling all of the continents, averaging 9 hours per continent. The races have to run like clockwork, and being prepared for the unexpected and getting comfortable, being uncomfortable, but having other people's goals and dreams in your hands is so scary. I've been in those shoes. I gave up a year of my life to train and work really, really hard towards a goal. And I guess what I didn't realize at the time is your goals and dreams are in somebody else's hands. So I definitely understood that part of it.
Oh, wow. So let's rewind because a lot of my listeners here we talk a lot about training, about preparing, and so when you're attempting to do something like this, 7 marathons in 7 days, and as I was reading about it a little bit more about it, you're some of them are pretty fast turnaround. You've got to do one, fly, and do the other because of time. Like you said, time zones. I mean, it's like it's gotta run like clockwork. And you start in Antarctica, which is just let's just freeze to start.
I've been like Antarctica. I've been there 7 times. It's my favorite place in the entire world. You're running a marathon on a glacier. You're taking a cargo plane, military plane to get there. It's surreal. You just can't. I feel so lucky every time I go there. I really, really love it. But it's in Antarctica, so it's freezing. It's cold. It's intimidating. So once we get that one over with, then I feel like I can kind of not let my guard down, but I can actually like feel normal again on the next continent. Like, okay, oh no,
It's like you're on another planet.
there's a lot to think about racing in Antarctica.
Yeah. What's the course like in Antarctica? Is it out and back? Is it what?
It's a square. It's 4 10K loops, and each
Okay.
of the 7 continents are certified courses. So
Yeah.
we have timers on each part of the course.
Okay. And how is it marked? Because you're running on a glacier.
Snowmobile in cones, and the entire way is lined with little flags.
Okay. So you can't get lost. Just
No,
follow the flags.
Nobody's gotten lost ever.
Nice, nice. So how did you said you trained for a year. What did you do? Okay, because you're already in, obviously, you were running marathons, you were doing the things.
Yeah.
So you're in good shape. But what did you do differently to prepare yourself for this?
For me, I was running 100-mile weeks, and prior to that, I was doing about 65, 70, and I was running at all hours of the day. So I'd run at 2 in the morning and 7 a.m. and 4 a.m. and all the hours because all of these marathons are being run throughout the night. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like every single marathon was at 8 a.m. They were all, when the gun goes off in Antarctica, we just go, go, go. So running at different hours, pliability, yoga for runners, lots of stuff like that just to keep the body healthy.
Yeah. Like doing like 2-a-days or just kind of back-to-back runs and things like that too.
What I would mostly do is 20, 15, 20, 10, 10, 10, 10 to get into my hundreds. So 20, 15, 20, 10, 10, 10, 10, starting on a Monday.
Okay.
And so sometimes that meant like breaking up and doing a 10-mile in the morning and a 10-mile at night, but I tried to run it all the way through.
Yeah, gotcha. So how does that? Okay, so you're and I listened to when you did that TED talk too. Okay. So you're a mother,
Yeah.
and you're a wife, and you run a daycare.
Yeah.
And there's something else.
I manage an ice cream shop, and
You manage an ice cream.
I have a book, and I'm a notary, and I do a lot of things. I coach all 3 seasons at Belmont High School where I went to college, indoor and outdoor track and cross country. But I love my life. I feel very, very lucky to be doing what I do. I love all the areas of my life, and my life is very much like a puzzle. So I'm working out at this hour. I'm working at this hour. I'm taking care of my daughter at this hour. And I've been entering senior year. It's a lot easier for me because now she has her license, and it's a lot easier now.
Yeah, I guess, and one of the things, like as I work full time. I'm a father. I coach others. I have a podcast, and I train for 100 ultra marathons. So all the things. So we struggle. I talk a lot about struggling for balance, and so what kind of tools do you use to try to because you want to be. Like we want to be good at everything, we want to be good at life, and if we do all these big things, but we fail with our kids or our marriage or whatever, then what have we really done? And so how do you balance it all? How do you keep it and not, part of it's we enjoy what we do. So I know that's a big part, but there's only so many hours in the day. So what kind of tricks and tools do you use to keep it all afloat?
Well, mostly like might not matter. I have to tell you, like, it's my pet peeve when people are like, oh, I want to be in the Guinness Book of World Records, or I want to run 50 marathons. I just don't have time. It's
Mm.
such that when people say to me like I don't have time, it's such a slap in the face to me because you're not busier than I am, or
Yeah. Yeah.
still bringing you back, but I don't have time, or any little thing, and it's just really hard to hear that because my day starts at 4:30, and I don't care that my day starts at 4:30 because
Same.
I'm very lucky to to be doing all the things that I love to be doing, but it's hard to hear I don't have time. So I do feel, I do a ton with Team Hoyt, Rick and
Yeah.
Vic Hoyt, and I feel very lucky to have my health and to be able to give back to the community. And so it is like making sure that, my life's kind of like a pyramid. I start with my daughter and then work and then work out and then, like all those things like of importance. So
Yeah.
but it's a lot of no thank yous to things I don't want to do or things I'm not interested in, and that might be, standoffish to a lot of people, but I don't have time for it. And and my closest friends and I are always joke, oh, Becca has no time for that, and I don't. I've never been a heavy drinker or anything like that. So I will go out with my friends, but after one drink I'm heading home, and
Yeah.
and everybody knows that no one's
Yeah.
gonna
Because you got a long run in the morning.
20 miles, either that or I just ran 20 miles. So I mean,
Yeah.
but I do want to come say hi and I do want to come support and I do want to but that's the joke.
No, that it's choosing what's important and putting first things first, and people that know you, love you, and respect you will understand that
Yeah.
and respect that and not beat you up for it.
That's very true. I feel very lucky to have my friends and family that just understand me.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's good. And so that is a pet peeve of mine too when people say I don't have time because I see 4 o'clock every morning, and you make time for the things that are important to you, and what I always say is let's just be honest, it's not a priority for you.
Yeah, no thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So awesome. But so you're training, you kicked up your training to do this huge endeavor. It's funny I think I was reading you said yoga, but it's hot yoga, and I just did a podcast just released a podcast of a lady who she doesn't run a whole lot to get her races done, but she does hot yoga 3 days a week with it. And she said, it's amazing. Like I don't get injured and my body's just, ready to go. And the heat doesn't bother me and all the things. And do you find that like the heat acclimation, cause you ran in some hot areas too. So was that part of your preparing you for that?
Yeah, I felt a huge difference, in races, a lot of the marathons that I've run, especially in the 50 states and especially during the 777, we're hitting 90-degree temperatures. But so I started doing hot yoga, and we're also it's sculpt, so you can lift too. So that really, really prepared me. People are like, oh, that's so funny yoga. I'm like, oh, there's nothing funny about it. It's not,
Yeah.
and it's a butt whooping. Like I really do feel like, you're going to, just like in life, you're going to get out what you put into it. So I go for 15-pound weights, and I try and just give myself a hard hour in there so that I'm sweating a ton and getting a good workout in too. But it's hard. It's definitely hard, and oftentimes like I'm running 15 miles, going to yoga, then going straight into swim. So it's exhausting, but learning how to sweat in 90 degrees is really important for any ultra running or 50 states or anything that you're going to, because when you start running in hot weather, if you're not used to it, you cannot recover. It's really, really hard to recover. And a lot of these people we had 62 runners from 21 countries running 777, they had never experienced Brazil heat like that. I was like looking at fear in their face, like, oh, if only you went to yoga, or if only you, but
yeah,
it's a learning experience.
Yeah, yeah. I experienced that a lot in South Louisiana when people would come down to do races, especially hot summer races or ultras, and they were not used to it. It was, they started off with a smile, and it wasn't long before it's like, oh, what have I gotten myself into?
First lap in, I'm like, but we get through it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So one of the things that has to be interesting, so you train your body because, especially the first time you're doing this, it's a huge endeavor. Everybody's watching you. For both of them, but like you want your body ready because you don't want to get out there and get injured, get just get where you can't continue, because there's a lot that goes into that. And so and then you, like, how does your body respond? Because I've been in the I've raced in the heat, I've raced in the cold, where my in Kansas one year it was so cold my bladder hose was freezing over, and for 100 miler and it was just you just had to tuck it in to defrost. But I've never gone from one day freezing to the next, that quick. Like, how does that mess with you? What does that feel like? What does your body do when for that quick of a turnaround?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So it's just learning how to adapt and knowing, like, I will never ever go to a starting line not fully prepared. I've trained it. I've mentally gone over the course. I physically know what I'm doing, and you just kind of have to have that, like, I got this, and have all these little tips, and how your goo would typically freeze in Antarctica. You put in extra hand warmer. So I put my hand warmers in my zipper and on each.
I didn't even think of that.
It's little stuff like that. And then it's drinking hot tea water because cold water would freeze. So it's all these little things that, you don't want to be doing for the first time. And being a race director, I've been in those shoes. So I can tell them, put your goo inside your hand warmers and, or make sure you have hand warmers and all those kind of things. But it's crazy because you're like in 15 or 0 degrees in Antarctica, and then you're like, I am so cold. I just can't wait to be warm. And then next day, boom, you're in Cape Town, Africa, and it's 18 degrees, and you're like, I don't feel good. I'm really warm. I don't, and so literally, like, it's like a mind that's playing games on you. You just can't. Finally, usually Madrid's number 6, and usually that's 50 degrees. That's the one that was like, okay, we need a good cold weather day.
Yeah.
Now it's like really hot or really cold.
So when you're doing these, are you trying to get most of your rest while you're flying and in between? Yeah.
So there's no hotels. It's nothing like that. You sleep. Yeah, you sleep on planes, and the planes lay flat down into very comfortable beds. So
okay,
that's awesome. You have a down pillow and down comforter. And then I told the runners, even if you don't feel like it, get up and walk the plane so that you don't cramp, and you don't, and make sure you're wearing compression, everything, pants and socks.
Okay, I was about to ask that. Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
You want to give yourself like as fair a shot as you can. So you just have to keep your guard up, because if you ignore a splinter, it becomes infected over 7 days. It becomes a major problem. So even I just say, pay attention, tape it up, like use the tape, 𝐀𝐄 tape if you can, and stay ahead if you make sure you're having your Advil for inflammation and whatever it is. So, but until you cross that finish line in Miami, at no point are you like, I got this. No, because anything can happen. We saw people finishing on crutches. We saw people falling across the finish line. But we support you. My goal is to get every single person across the finish line, and it's happened so far.
Fantastic. That's huge. So when between the well, I noticed one of the things that you were doing to prepare was like eating random things, because you're going to different countries and you've got to fuel the machine during your races, before your races, after your races. And so how did that I don't know, did you have any surprises the first time, even though you were prepping for it, like food wise?
I guess like my biggest mistake was so idiotic. Like, I never had run a marathon in another country before taking on 7 continents. So I didn't realize chicken in Dubai is very, very different than chicken in America. It had a different spice to it. It had different, and then I went to the first one and I was like, Gatorade, and we didn't have Gatorade. Like, what? In Africa, I'm like, oh no, I can't believe I didn't think like to bring my own electrolytes. I just assumed that every country had Gatorade. I don't know.
Yeah, they got Coca-Cola, but
no kidding, they did at the water stops. They had Coke and everything. I've never done that before, so I'm like burping Coke at like full race, and I don't feel good. And one idiotic mistake when you're in it to win it, So second time I'm eating Snickers bar. I'm really just eating stuff I'm not used to eating, because that's kind of how it flows. You're eating whatever you can kind of find. Although, so when we would touch down, there's a team of people waiting for us, and typically it was like a Marathon Sports or local running store to their community, and they did a phenomenal job. But I always knew I would be getting water, but you need more than water on a feat like this. So
Yeah, yeah. What's your, you're very active person. What is your normal diet like? What do you eat normally?
A lot of spaghettis and proteins. I eat
Okay.
a ton of proteins, tons of pastas, and as much. I ate a ton. Now I'm training. I raced 2 years ago. I started racing Ironmans.
Okay.
That's about 20 hours a week in training. So it's 7 days a week in running, and then 3 days biking, 3 days swimming, in addition to the 7 days. So, I just told my parents, I really want to try Ironman. So they're like, "Are you serious?" Like, no, this is
Haven't you done enough?
where are you gonna fit in Ironman? I'm like, I don't know. I was invited to my first one, so I really kind of want to do it. So that's what happens. I'll be minding my own business and get invited to something. I'm like, yeah, we actually would really like to do that.
So I should invite you to some ultra marathons
Yeah,
then.
I would. I like to be invited, and I like to race. So why not?
That's cool. Something, especially something when you've done, so much of like marathons and stuff. It's fun to change it up and I don't know,
Yeah,
challenge yourself with something different.
I really, really love Ironmans. I really enjoy it.
So how many Ironman have you done so far?
Three full ones. Phoenix, Arizona, Kona, Hawaii, and Nice, France. Ironman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So how has that been? Like, how has, like, when you lined up for your first full Ironman compared to all these other marathons that you've run, how did you, I don't know, how was it?
Same thing, kind of like I was looking out in the ocean in Kona. I'm like, okay, this is going to be over in 11 hours, not 7 days. So I can fight through anything that in 11 hours. And then I'm stung by jellyfish and freezing in my eyes and fall off my bike. I'm like, oh, that was a long 11 hours. But, it's like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And that's okay. Like, I said, I'm going to do it again. And I went to Nice, France, and climbing. I don't know if you know anything about that course, but it's like climbing a wall, and
No.
it was just like a tough, long day, and it rained sideways, and I'm like, oh man. And I really enjoy it though. I love that ultimate test of like endurance and strength. I really just am addicted to the Ironman. That's been my favorite.
Nice, nice. Well, what you're saying is kind of the same thing. Like a lot of our, listeners who do ultra marathons, is you can prepare for everything you can think of, and then the course is going to throw something else at you.
Yeah.
And you just have to, and that's one of the things, especially, these long distances, these big races, you don't know, and you have to have the mindset like, okay, I'm going to push through, or I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to, figure out what's going on with my body, figure out how to fix this bike issue, and you just figure it out and push through.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think I love that. That's what I love about it.
Yeah. Do you find it, so, and I say we do these sports because we find out more about ourselves, like when you you see what's in a sponge, you squeeze it. Yeah. And do you keep finding things out about yourself?
Yeah. It's very true. You learn how to be brave and fight elements and dig deeper than you ever thought that you could imagine, and that makes you stronger.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things that I tell people who don't do these endurance sports is that it makes me stronger, not only like physically and mentally to do another race and to prepare for another race, but it makes me like in life,
Right.
When people are falling apart, when things happen around them, because we put ourselves in a situation where things happen all the time. We can deal.
Yeah. And people like that you inspire people. They're like, you inspired me to sign up for my first 5K, or when I was really hating life at mile 22 in a marathon, I was thinking about you, like, I could do it. I got it. And like, that's a big one too. I'm like, oh, thanks. When you're hating life, you thought of me. Like, but it happens all the time. And so for me to be able to inspire anybody, just like, that's what I love doing.
Yeah. I love when people, and it's kind of when people say like, oh man, you did this, I could never do that. And I was like, whoa, hang on. I said, you can. Yeah. You just have to want it.
Yeah.
And you have to commit to putting the time through, but don't say you could never, but cause you can.
Yeah. That's where I say you can, I'll help you. Yeah.
Yeah. That too. I love that. I love when people come and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Can you help? I'm like, Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Up whatever I am to help somebody, especially like their first race, or if they want to try out an Ironman or they want to do anything. That I love being part of their journeys.
That's one of the things that I fell in love with running is the communities, because, you know, when you get into it, you know, I didn't start at a young age. So I was just running with people and just asking questions, and you know, everybody was just so like, you know, let's help the dummy.
I love it.
And then, so, you know, now that I'm experienced and do it, I love doing the same. That's one of the reasons I do this podcast, is to, you know, to share everybody's experiences, to inspire, but also they can hear the tidbits, the nuggets of information to help them when they decide that, you know, they're going to go run in the hot. So they're going to do hot yoga and sit in the sauna. And
Yeah.
yeah. So you did it once, and then you went back. And what years did you do the
777. I did it in 2016 and 2018.
Okay, so you did it the same time. You did it with Ryan Hall then.
Ryan Hall did it 2017, the year before me.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
I did Dave McGilvery, race director of the Boston Marathon. Dave McGilvery.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, so what was your total time? Did you improve your time between the first and the second?
Yeah, the second time I was it 6 days, 18 hours and 38 minutes.
Nice. That's so awesome.
I'm just like, it's great.
So how many since then? Do you still have the women's record?
No, it actually was broken last in front of my face. So yeah, I'm like,
oh man. Well, I mean,
yeah, but this woman, just like Estefania from Spain, she just absolutely just destroyed. And then she had Japan, a girl from Japan helping her out too. So it was a battle for the finish line, and it was really awesome to be included in it somehow. But
yeah. It's one of those things where so I had the Kansas State record for the 100-miler for a year, and the next year at that race, it's a flat and fast race, and the guy was going, and I was cheering him on, but then a part of me was still like, oh.
Really, really hard. That was definitely really hard, but at least, you know, we race directed the perfect race to allow it to happen, and it was really fun to have front row seats to it.
Yeah. That's so awesome. Yeah. So you're out there doing Ironman now and training for it. Is that your main focus now as far as running and stuff? I mean, as far as endurance?
Yeah, I kept up the training. I'll be racing Napa Valley in March, the marathon, and then I'll be doing a Dubai half Ironman in March, and then Boston Marathon in April, and London the weekend after marathon.
Oh wow!
Boston, so, and then I'll be training throughout the summer for Lake Placid.
Oh wow! Okay, so have you done the you know, since then, have you done the majors, the marathon majors?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I do the majors. I love the majors. I think everybody, if you like marathons, chip away at the majors. They're really exciting and very well organized.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be tough because you've done so many of these marathons, so many of these things. Like, you know, people want to, I don't know. I almost hate asking when somebody like achieves a big race, like, hey, what's next? You know, like, but it's, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, well, because people are inspired and they want to know, like, hey, what can we watch you do next?
I wish I could be like running a marathon on the moon. I wish I could just awesome. Like, I've, you know, built up the resume. It's been really, really fun. But part of me knows that, you know, after completing the 50 states, I knew that was going to be really hard, because that's been a really fun goal throughout the years.
Yeah. Well, and the fun thing is, you know, as there's so much to do out there endurance wise. And like I jokingly said ultras, but there's so many people that are starting to do those. And especially people like with your background who've done, you know, fast marathons, and they're transitioning, and then they're knocking out such fast 100-mile races and stuff. It blows my mind. And so like I'm just gonna, you know, just kind of plant that in your ear for whenever the Ironman gets old, you just come run 100-milers with us, or 200-milers, you know, whatever.
It's funny that you're wearing a Lake Tahoe hat, because my friend Scott Tadeo, my training partner, ran the Lake Tahoe 200.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, and I went out and I ran with him, and like you could start like what you can't. Nobody could do the first leg, but you could do like. So there were 4 of us that kept rotating, and
yeah,
wound up doing 50 miles like back in 2 days, and it was so much fun. The ultra community is just an absolute blast. They're very like loving and caring people supporting each other on the course. I really, really loved it.
Not, yeah, that is a fantastic. I hope I did it in 2018, and I'm hoping the with all the fires and stuff, they're not able to do the full loop. So I'm hoping it gets back to that soon.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Like it was just such an awesome time.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear other people that you're out there, and that. So yeah,
yeah. And here's really something that's very, very funny. So the 777, whenever I see I go through their bios because I put them on the website, and I say, it's not the people that run 2:30 that are going to win this race. It's the ultra marathoners that win. And usually, most of the years, an ultra marathoner catches up at mile 5. Marathons 5 and 6, and they take it from 7 on. So it's always, you think that it's going to be the 2:35 marathoner that's going to win the 777.
Yeah,
the ultra marathoners.
Yeah, because they're just used to cranking it. Yeah, didn't Mike Wardian do that last year? Yeah.
Wardian ran it, and I said, I always say I'm not so concerned about the real fast, ones that have been to the Olympics and ones that have been to Olympic trials. I'm more concerned about Europe that has run 100, run several ultra marathons. That's
yeah. The bodies are just used to keep it on moving and doing the things. Yeah, yeah. Well, so you talked about gels, when you're running the races and stuff. So when you're, what do you during your races, especially during your Ironman? Because I'm curious, what are you using to fuel yourself? In the middle of a race.
Mostly Gatorade bars, and any type of bars that I really like. Goo is my favorite.
Okay.
I'll have 10 goos during the whole Ironman.
Okay.
And any kind of bars that goo makes, or any kind of the Morton bars are really good for me. They digest really well. And I usually stick to marathons water only, but I use electrolytes. And then those, so every single transition I have those, those applesauce pouches.
Uh-huh.
I have 2 of those. I literally buy the ones with the dinosaurs on them, at the kids and
the green ones, the green pouches.
Yeah, green pouches. Those are awesome.
I've used those before. That's great.
Love those for transition area and ultra marathons. I use a ton of those. 2. I just do 2, and they're easy, really quick and easy.
That's good. Do you have it planned out pretty well? You're shooting for so many carbs per hour and things like that?
No, not usually. I just every 45 minutes eat something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Same with the hydration every 45 minutes.
Okay. No, and it sounds like you found you should have found what works for you by now.
Yeah, and the transition, going through every single the stops, it's like a buffet. They have so much bananas and food and everything you want, soup and everything.
Yeah, and you're there with your applesauce.
Yeah.
Well, so you've done all the things, a lot of the things, and you've also written a children's book. So tell me about that.
Yeah, I really love it. It's a children's book, and it's been sold in all 50 states. It's on my website, BeccaPizzi.com, and it's really fun to have because people send photos of their kids reading the book. I really, really, really love it, and all the proceeds go towards my foundation. So it's another way to bring in funds for the foundation, and I really, really love it. It's called Becca's Feet on Feet, and my dad titled it, who took me to my first race, and it's been a huge part of my journey. I said, I have the whole book written out. I just need a title. And I didn't even finish my sentence, and he was like, Becca's Feet on Feet. I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of so. I really, really. I said oh, I don't want to write a book, and then I started writing it. I teamed up with Mascot Books, and I love it. I'm probably going to write another one on the 50 states.
Well, why not? So what inspired you to do it?
The kids were like, you should write a book or be in a movie or make it, because I do a ton of motivational speaking around the world, and the kids, the last 15 minutes of our hour session is questions and answers, and they're like, get a book, and they kept asking. I'm like, I should write a book. So the kids.
Well, you can encourage kids to run and to read, man. That's a win-win, dude.
Yeah, right, no, right. And that's exactly it. Like, I get so many emails. Oh, my child ran their first 5K and they're only 7. I'm like, that was me. That was literally me.
Oh, man.
Amazing life for me.
That's so cool. That's so awesome. So, yeah, and you do speaking all over. What kind of speaking do you do? Like what kind of places? Obviously schools and stuff, but what other
corporate world? Anything, anybody at kindergarten to the corporate world.
Nice. Well, that's pretty interesting. That makes it fun because you can't use the same speech. I don't think.
No, you just speak. You just learn your audience and you speak to them. And my favorite is the questions and answers because they're pretty awesome when it comes to that. No matter the age or no matter the corporate level, they're just like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the things that you've done and the things that we do in general, because I get to speak at some things too from time to time, and it inspires people even in business because, and you probably the same way, like you don't have to do what I do, but you can do hard things. You can do big things, you just have to want it and decide. It's
true. And that's when I coach, the high school, and high school is tough to coach. They think they know everything. They don't, and I start out the season. I have Coach Peasy, and you're going to get out of the season what you put into it. You're going to get work what you put into it. If you're going to half-ass it, you're going to get half-ass results. And don't cry to me when you're not hitting your targets or your paces, but you show up and give it 100%. I'll help you through it all, and I get to write college recommendations for these kids, and it's really awesome. But I say, if you're here just to make friends, awesome. Good. That's great. If you're here to throw down and make states and regionals, also awesome. But know your role and know your goals, but don't mix up, don't confuse the two. Don't expect high goals if you're going to come 2 days a week. And they get it. They understand. And sometimes we need little reminders like, hey, I saw that you missed practice. What's going on? And sometimes they just need a break, but then you kind of have to rope them back in, but I like doing that with them.
That's good. I heard that there was a saying that don't complain about the results you didn't get because of the work you didn't put in or something like that.
So true. Like, I can't even believe that you complained to me when I haven't seen you all week, but they know, they really don't, they don't miss much.
Yeah. Becca, are you a tough coach?
Yeah, I tough love, and they know that, they know what they're getting into.
Yeah. Well, like you said it's tough, but it's love. Cause you want them to, when you see potential in someone and they're squandering it, that's frustrating. It's like, come on, man, you can do this.
And I say, you have potential to go D1 school. I know this, this is my field. Do you want it or you don't want it? You just want to make friends here, and that's the thing. But it's okay to make mistakes. If you go out at a pace you think you can hang on and it's not working for you, and you embarrass yourself on it's okay. We'll just shake it off. We'll get through it, and there's next time.
Yeah. Attitude and effort, man. As long as you're trying and giving it all, giving it what you've got. If you mess up, well, hey, some of these things are hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
And you get to let them make mistakes. Can I try hurdles, Coach Peasy? Yeah, sure. You can try it. And they try it, and sometimes they do love it, and then other times they're like, "Can I go back to the 800?"
Yeah. Oh man. Well, that's that, and I love that that you're pouring into, not only with the books, but you're coaching and you're speaking and you're doing all those things, and all these things that you've done. If you could choose. I don't know. It sounds like if you could choose to run something tomorrow or to do something, what would you do? But it sounds like you choose it and then you train and go do it.
The one thing I cannot believe I haven't done is the Greece Athens marathon, where all of the marathon originated. And I'm Greek and half Italian, and I didn't get to run an Italian race or a race in Italy or Greece. I don't know how. I just haven't. Maybe I'm saving it for last or something. But I would. That's really, really, I've raced around the world. I've been to Egypt. I've been all over the world. I'm going to run the Athens Marathon probably here.
Wait. It's like you have to.
I know. I can't even, like, I'm embarrassed to say I haven't even done that yet, but I've been to Greece. I just haven't run the marathon yet, but that's my dream. That's definitely, I'd like to go to Greece and run that marathon.
Nice. That'll be the icing on the cake.
Maybe
Yeah.
that'll be like that. Who knows? PR.
Yeah. Well, Becca, man, it's been great visiting with you and hearing your story and all the things that you've got going on. If people want to find you and follow you and see your adventures, how can they get a hold of you?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook and Becca Pizzi, .com, and
Cool.
yeah, all over.
I'll put all the links in the show notes, and I think on your website you have the links to your book and just all the. I thought this was kind of funny. I was looking at the book, and I was looking at the title and all, and it made sure it is a note. It says, "Be sure you like something like this is a children's book."
Yes. Yeah. Like children's book. Like, a lot of people have bought it for graduation. Like, the book, like, The Places You'll Go. It's kind of like that,
Yeah.
kind of like, you get a graduation present like that from a kid's book and you're like, oh my God. So
Yeah. Well, I guess final question. Did you ever think as that little girl running with her dad, did you ever think that running or endurance would take you the places that it has?
never. I never thought that I could love my life so much. The highs have been really high, the lows have been really low, but I feel so fortunate and that I get to do what I love every single day. I never ever dreamt this up as a child.
Yeah. Well, Becca, I think that's why a lot of people can do the things that they do is because they do it with gratitude. And I think gratitude is it's a force. It enables us to push through when time's tough. And you sound like you're full of gratitude for what you get to do. So that's, be blessed in that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks so much for visiting, Becca. And, looking forward to following what you're going to do next.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Keep in touch.
Okay.